Right. So this is a bit of a catch-all. We're going to be talking about Doctor Who and the ratings for just up until now, basically. I'm not sure if we're going to do this as a weekly thing. I don't think we will. You know, I think
You
we'll
don't
do
know
this
that.
periodically, and we'll talk about how the ratings are going. Because obviously, unless anything drastic changes, it's just going to be a very consistent thing. But it'll be interesting to see it. And guys in the chat, I may, if you guys bully everyone, in the chat, you bully the panel, we may get them to watch Doctor Who
No,
because I'm watching.
no.
They're refusing, guys. They're refusing to watch Doctor Who. I've had to watch it.
What I would do for you, Nate, is go back and watch the original early '60s season 1 and talk all about that, perhaps.
I'll tell you what we should probably do is we should do like a white pill moment. We should watch something good at some point and do like a positive review on stuff. So yeah, I think we'll do that.
I thought that.
But anyway, what we'll do, let's get through this crap now first, right? So I have watched this. I've watched both current episodes of the new season, and the ratings are truly terrible, right? Like these are bad ratings. So it opened to an all-time low of 2 million. And then come the second episode, they lost 420,000, right? From first episode to second episode. And it was an all-time low with episode 1 anyway. And now it's just going to be a consistent all-time low as it keeps going. Now everyone who sort of bangs on about this, that sort of shills for the BBC's like, guys, viewing habits have changed. No, they haven't. I mean, they have, but they haven't. Fans are going to watch this as it comes out. That's going to be the case anyway. You compare it like for like. So the overnight ratings, people watching it on the day, if they're constantly in decline, and it's in decline across the board, even on the 7 days, it's in decline. Like it's really bad. This is just super cope from the people that are shilling for Doctor Who. Right? It's just super cope. The ratings have never been this bad for any of it. It's awful. And so it dropped to 2 million opening, premiere. Should be the highest. That's really bad anyway. And the 7-day figures got released, and it's only 3.57 million. So that's truly terrible. That's truly terrible. Now, the thing about this is that same as the first season, the last season, they call it season 1 now because it's Disney. It's been consistent that the 7-day viewing figures are about 1.5 million views consistently, weirdly consistent. Now, it goes without saying that if it's going to drop down on the overnight ratings, the logic is transferable, right? There's a crossover of logic there, is that generally it would actually drop across the board. Even on the 7-day figures, it wouldn't be a consistent 1.5 million. It just wouldn't be, because if there's a decline in quality and people are switching out, fans or otherwise, it would be dropping across the board. So the consistent 1.5 million on the 7-day figures, to me, is very, very sus. I think that's very, very suspect. Literally every single episode's always the same, even though the overnight figures keep declining. But it's always propped up by an extra 1.5 million. Yeah, that's weird. That's super weird. That says to me that because it's the BBC, it's probably on in lots of like NHS buildings, doctor's surgeries, all the iPlayer, the catch-up things. That's what it says to me anyway. But it's terrible. Like these figures are awful. It's comical because this is just Russell T Davies. This is the showrunner, the writer. He's come out and said, responded to the Dr. Woke comments and the crybaby comments and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, well, look, you don't tell an actor like that not to cry. Yeah, you do. You direct him, obviously. You just direct him. But fundamentally, because I've watched it now, I can say, and I can answer some questions. This is not Doctor. This is not Doctor Who. It's not the Doctor. It's just not. So every single actor that has played the Doctor has fitted in because it's been written as the Doctor. This character that they've made, Shooty Gap, was not the Doctor. They've changed fundamentally his personality, right? He's saying babes and honey. Like, that's what this is. Why is he saying all these sort of homosexual girl slang? Babes, honey. That's weird? Why is he doing that? That's not what the Doctor originally said. So that's someone, creeping in with their own lingo here, or the character being changed subversively. One thing I found interesting from first episode to the second episode, the first episode establishes that his companion had a heterosexual relationship, right? Because they went to the planet of the incels by her ex-boyfriend. But at the start of episode 2, he goes to his new companion. Oh, well, what about you? Who's at home? Girlfriend? Boyfriend? So why would you automatically jump to the girlfriend part? Oh, yeah, because you're using this as subversive shit. That's why. We've already. You were in the last episode. You established that this woman has had a heterosexual relationship. The logic would actually be that would be the go-to actually in that scenario. It just would be. The second episode, it was in 1950s Miami. So, of course, they made some commentary about segregation as well, because why wouldn't you? Just has to be in everything. Oh, he cries again. He's cried in every single episode so far. So there you go. The ratings are terrible. There's just my quick comments about what I picked up on with the show itself. Bo.
Well, it's just something I've got no intention of ever watching. Like if I was in a room with it on, I would leave the room. I would leave the room. Just not interested. No wonder no wonder the ratings. I'm surprised it's still as high as it is. Really, I mean, in Britain, we've got this. There's this sort of cadre of people, usually older people. I hesitate to say actual boomers, but sort of older people and a diehard Doctor Who fan base who I guess will watch anything. We'll watch anything because I've always found it surprising in Britain as well. We've got things like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, or Big Brother or something. And still a few million people will always tune into it, regardless of or Britain's Got Talent or something. And I don't know how shit it has to be before some people will stop watching it. I said to a friend of mine who kept always insisting that they loved watching Britain's Got Talent. I said, if Simon Cowell just came out with a saucer with some shit on it and just said, point the camera at that for an hour, you'd still watch it and still insist it was good and entertaining, wouldn't you? I feel like that about Doctor Who. Like, how crap has it got to be? Really? Like, how in your face subversive, gross nonsense does it have to be? I guess there is just a cadre of people, and it's it's 1 million plus people. Disappointing. I guess those people will never stop watching it. Whilst it's branded as Doctor Who, they'll watch it. Well, they're welcome to it.
Yeah, bang on the money. This is what I was referencing. So this is 2024, all of the ratings. So look at the overnight versus the 7-day plus 4 screens. So episode 1, 2.6 million. And then plus 4, plus 7, plus 4, 4 million. Okay. Episode 2, 2.4, 3.9. Episode 3, 2 million, 3.5. Episode 4, 2.6, 4. It's weirdly consistent.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that consistent. It's weirdly consistent.
No.
What do you mean, no? What?
No, you're correct. It shouldn't be. None of that should be consistent. There should be no consistency there. There are not going to be 1.4 million people every single time. This is somebody is lazy and they're reporting these ratings, and they're lies. Because you can't do that. The margin, there has to be a margin of differential there that would show up, because if you look at the real-time viewing, it fell off considerably. There's no way 1.4 million people were watching it only on digital. No way. That's because otherwise you literally have like a bunch of people in a coma. They have 1.4 million people in a coma in the UK that are watching this shit.
Yeah, like what is going on in these people's heads? It's like the Homer thing where it zooms in on his inner thoughts, and it's just like a monkey bashing a symbol or something. It's like, what are you on? What are you thinking? What's going around? What's your reasoning?
Yeah.
Maybe there is like a gay audience that are actively like it because of the direction Russell T Davies has taken it. I mean, but
maybe. I can't see there being a massive cross section for that though, to be fair. But maybe. But yeah, this is catastrophic. You know, this is a show that used to get 12 million views overnight. 12 million views overnight. 12 million overnight.
Yeah, I remember. I'm sorry.
I was going to say now it's at 1.58 million. 12. Like, that's historic.
I remember it seems not that long ago. I mean, really not that long ago, when the numbers were coming out and it was getting 7 million, and people were saying this thing's dead on its ass. 7 million is pathetic. That's a joke. Like, you know, it's fallen off a cliff. With 7 million. So yeah, now it's like a dead cat bounce. People say that about stocks sometimes, where it's fallen off a cliff, it's fallen down to essentially zero, and just before the company itself completely folds or declares bankruptcy, you get a little bit of a bounce. The dead cat bounce. It feels like that's what this is for Doctor Who.
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. There's a contingent of Doctor Who YouTubers that are so desperate to try and spin this as like still fine. It's still fine. Just like, oh my god, so funny watching them try and spin it. Like the mental gymnastics that they have to do to come out with the stuff that they're saying. They should join the Olympics, honestly, because the mental gymnastics are crazy. Very, very impressive, quite frankly. Dear, oh dear. You got anything to add to this culture?
No, I'm still surprised you're watching Doctor Who. I think this show's been poo for quite some time. I think Chin Balls did the initial demolition and then set up all the charges on the inside, and then this fucking hack that came back with an agenda full of shit. It basically took down the rest of the building, and now they're literally just dropping, like, you know, compression waves on top of the embers of what is already burned out of the franchise. This is terrible. I mean, I used to do video segments on this. I don't even care to do that. I don't care to get the 500 views.
You should do it. You should do it.
No,
so funny.
Look, go ahead.
I was going to say, you know what's sad about this though, right? Russell T Davies has presided over the worst ratings in Doctor Who history, and he will get another great job. There will be no repercussions. There'll be no consequences for his actions. He will fail upwards. He'll keep getting work. And he has actually single-handedly destroyed Doctor Who. Right? This is complete destruction. Before it was somewhat salvageable. He's completely destroyed it. Now, I don't really care. Like, I'm not a Doctor Who fan. But what I do care about, right, is him then getting another bloody job. That'll be fine. So I'm just gonna, yes, for sure, mate. Yeah, he'll just get his incredibly lucrative salaries. Where's the justice? Where's the justice? Unbelievable. And that's part of the problem with the BBC being funded by the taxpayer in the way that it is, because there's no checks and balances. It's disgusting. Bo, looking very thoughtful there.
Yeah,
Or
no,
just
it's
in
just
pain.
because the powers that be, the higher ups, the top brass at the BBC. I mean, it's been that way for quite a long time. I remember a Harry Enfield sketch years ago. I mean, a long time ago, years and years ago, and he was parodying the powerful, the decision makers at the BBC, and that they were all sort of highly camp Oxbridge types.
Mm.
And so, yeah, they don't necessarily, I imagine, you can only come to the conclusion that they don't care if the Doctor Who IP, if you want to call it that, is being killed. They care that someone like Russell T Davies is on the front line pushing their agenda for them. They care about that way more, way more. It's not even close how much those two things, weighing them up. So, yeah, I want the BBC to die completely. I want it to end. I would end it if it was in my power to. I would just overnight fire every single person, end it by royal charter, repossess all their assets, sell them off, demolish the buildings, everyone robbed of
Burn
their
that statue.
burn it down, and make sure nobody gets their pensions, the full 9 yards, full retribution for what they've done. But that's just me.
No, I would second that. I would second that. Oh dear, oh dear. Commandant VHS says only native British people should play Doctor Who.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. Definitely not a Rwandan second generation immigrant, that's for sure. No. Chaos is fun. For a cute doggo there. Says, evening all. YouTube doesn't like my comments on what the BBC are in touch with. Dirty, dirty Savile lovers. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know, look up Jimmy Savile on the BBC. Disgusting. Trash. Well, there you go anyway. Doctor Who rating.
What about Jimmy Dore?
About what?
Jimmy Dore.
Who?
It doesn't matter.
I know Jimmy Dore is a left wing dude who used to be on the Young Turks. But yeah, I mean, Jimmy Savile was actually friends with the King, King Charles III. They were good friends.
I'm sure they were.
So effed up.